Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. How you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? You feeling better than you did yesterday? Excellent. You can't ask for better than that. How's everything going otherwise? You keeping up with your doctor's appointments? You keeping up with your physical therapy? Excellent. Hey, we have got a good one for you today. Now, I told you about it during the week. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Faith Guilbault and her mom, Karen. Faith has made a movie for TV, PBS, Public Broadcasting, about her world. Faith is a 17-year-old young lady who does not let anything stop her. And I mean, there is nothing in this world that can stop her. Faith is like a superhuman, as far as I'm concerned. She suffers from cerebral palsy, a cortical vision impairment, and I found out the day that we were doing the interview, she also has epilepsy. Now, you would think that might slow her down. Not in the least. Not in the least. Faith wakes up each morning, she flexes her muscles, reaches her hands out, and says, "Come on, world, I'm going to take you on, and we're going to make this world a better place." Now, and you're going to see where she gets her oomph from. Her mom, Karen, is her push, is her backbone. So between the two of them, believe me, they're a force to be reckoned with. Trust me. But what a family. They're such a great family. Her mom, her dad, her brother. So I want to introduce you to them, and I want you to watch her movie. Her movie comes out on PBS this month, and it'll be on next month too. It's called Faith's World. Here in New York and in New Jersey, it comes out on WNET, PBS WNET, Channel 13 in New York here, on April 25th at 7 p.m. It's Films BYKids, but check your local listings. Definitely, please. And she's up for the Richmond Award. This is a big thing. And again, she's 17 years old. But I'm not going to tell you too much about her because I want you to be impressed by her words and her mom's words. So I want you to sit back, relax, and I want to introduce you to my new friends, Faith and Karen Guilbault. Okay? So sit back and let's get started here. Hello, and I have two new friends with us here today, Karen Guilbault and Faith Guilbault. Karen is Faith's mother. Faith is the model, disability advocate, and filmmaker that I've been telling you about all this week. So welcome, ladies. Welcome to An Apple a Day.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited about this movie that Faith is doing. I can't wait to see it. And being that I'm here in New York State, I'll be able to see it on WNET Channel 13 on April 25th. So Go ahead, let me know what's happening here. Faith, how did you become a filmmaker? You're a model, a disability advocate. When did you have time to start making movies?
I just kind of started filming when I was little, and then my mom looked on Facebook and reached out to Martha and Mandy, which is kind of a funny story because they were literally two entities.
So basically, back in 2015, I saw an ad on Facebook looking for models with disabilities. So I reached out to them, and I ended up reaching out to two different people that ran two different entities, if you will, looking for models with disabilities for adaptive clothing. And so we've been involved with Mindy Shire from Runway Dreams since 2015, and then they had partnered with Tommy Hilfiger, and Tommy Hilfiger launched their first adaptive clothing, and Faith got to be in the 2016 Runway of Dreams gala and walked the runway showcasing the adaptive clothing. And then she was in the 2016 fall and holiday photo shoot.
Whoa.
And that was,
I think it was with Mindy's son.
yes, with Mindy's son. The holiday photo shoot was with Mindy's son.
Wow.
And it just kind of went from there. We never dreamed that, several years later, here we are, she's making a film. But tell them what else did you do when you were with Mindy in Runway Dreams? You got to go to the White House?
Yeah, with Martha and Michelle and you and Grandma.
Mm-hmm. And there was 130 people that were invited. It was a celebration for inclusive design.
It was back when Obama and Michelle were president.
Yeah. So it was for inclusive design, prosthetics, and assistive technologies.
Excellent.
So we got to go to that. She was on a few promos and news clips at Mindy's house. And then 2018, we actually were invited as guests to go to the runway show. So that was kind of neat, seeing on the other side, watching all the runway models, right, Faith?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then 2019 was when she was asked back to walk the runway again.
Yeah, that was exciting. I literally did not expect that.
Yeah. And that is when we found out about the film. You can go ahead and tell them.
That was another thing when my mouth dropped. I was literally in the shower and my mom was like, "We found out about this film," screaming, "Get some clothes, because we literally had to go 3 hours before the show. I was like, "Okay, let me hop out of the shower." My dad has literally dropped his toothbrush. He's just brushing his teeth.
Yes, it was exciting. So we were on FaceTime getting interviewed about making this film. So we filmed 2 days in New York.
We went to stay at my aunt's and then for like 3 days earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So tell them how it was at the runway show. Who all did you interview? And
I don't
Miss
remember.
Mindy. I know it was because it was 2019 when we filmed it. Now we're here in 2021, and it's just now getting ready to air on TV. And then they were at our house several days. And you can go ahead and tell them where did we film? Where did you film at?
I filmed at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed at American Super Blind.
Why don't you tell them why you go there?
I have cortical vision impairment. And we went to iFly and stayed at the house. And where else did we go?
Physical therapy.
People just made adjustment. I went there for like 3 years.
Yeah, and then we had 3 of your friends over, and you interviewed them. 2 of them also have cerebral palsy.
Yeah, Nadia and Ellie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. You're gonna be
tell them about your mentor.
My mentor is George Topper.
So
Topper.
So with BYKids, they actually have a mentor director that works with the kids that want to tell their stories, and it helps guide them and shows them the ropes, if you will. And hers was Joyce Chopra, and she's amazing. And she's filmed so many different TV and made-for-movies. And she did...
She did Carl in the Chocolate Factory, and oh my God, I was so excited when I saw this out. She did Molly, American Girl.
Yeah, so she worked with Gene Wilder. She didn't do the Chocolate Factory one, but she worked with Gene Wilder in the past, yeah. So
Really?
She filmed the American Girl doll movie, Molly. And Faith was really big into American Girl dolls, so she brought her a book that has like all the behind the stage scenes and stuff.
I still have it. I don't know where it is.
It's in my room because I don't want to get it wrecked. And she signed it, saying that she was her American Girl doll, her American Girl, and she's come to love you more and more each day that she works with you.
Wow.
Right?
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but that's pretty cool.
It's so funny.
Well, you were a big.
I will have to get the book out, and I have to keep the book in safekeeping for her, so that way it doesn't get wrecked in her room with the other book.
Well, she's a big star now, so she forgets the little people.
I know, my friend says, don't forget the little people when you get famous. And I just
You're a big star now. You're walking runways, and you're rubbing elbows with these big people, Joyce Chopper, and making films. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Remember me on the way up when you're up there.
I
Just remember, Jimmy Apple. Well, that name that sounds so good. I mean, everything that's going on, it's just phenomenal. And you know what? I respect you so much because you're not letting any of this, the cortical vision impairment, you're not letting that hold you back. You're not letting the cerebral palsy hold you back. That's for sure. You're just grabbing.
I have epilepsy too, but.
What's that?
I have epilepsy too.
Epilepsy.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
God bless you.
Yep. She has it under control with medicine though. So if she goes without any seizures for 2 years, then they may take her off of it and see how she does. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
But that's just even more. You're not letting any of this hold you back. You're 17 years old and you're like, that's nothing. I'm just going out there and I'm grabbing life with both hands.
Yeah.
It's like this isn't like Faith's world. This is Faith takes over the world.
Yeah. I have a friend from New York, and I put Big Apple on her bracelet.
There you go. You went to New York and people feared you. They walked the other way. They were like, oh, look out, here comes Faith. I'm telling you, you're amazing. You are absolutely amazing. And it's going to show. I think it's going to show through this movie.
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to show big. I don't really have, like, a reality about preference of it yet, but I know it's probably going to be, like, really big in the future.
I think, too, the main thing about it is that, and I don't know how to, like, say this in the right way, but it's not a big deal to us, only because of the fact that, like, we look at each other and we're like, oh, wait, they want to interview us? Because we're really just showing them a glimpse of how we live our life, which to us is our normal. We know no different.
Right.
So it's really just going about our daily lives and showing them, you know, the extra steps and the things that we have to go through, but nothing stopped us. And that, hey, look, we can do what you can do. We just need the right supports in place to do it.
Right, exactly.
So, yep.
For you, it's everyday. It's an everyday thing. For you,
right.
It's nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
But to someone else who, you know, how do I say this? To someone else who they're just starting to go through it now, they're looking at it going, my life is over. But then they see Faith, and they're like, whoa, you know, life isn't over. Life is just beginning. Life is just beginning. I always say at the end of the podcast, you know, life can always be worse. Things can always be worse. No matter what, there's always someone else wishing that they were in your position. And you know how many people wish they were in your position right now, Faith? Because
Probably a lot.
A lot. Oh, probably. Definitely. Because you don't let things stop you. And like we talked about before. You know, there's people...
I love the Bethany Hamilton movie, and there's other movies out there that are inspiring on Netflix now.
Right. So she was talking about the Bethany Hamilton movie, and she was the one that got her arm bit by the shark. So, Faith, that's kind of what he's saying. Like, you look up to her, like nothing made her, you know, stopped her from going after her dreams and what she's doing. So now younger people are going to see, like, your documentary and kind of think the same thing.
Exactly. Right. Think about it. That girl got her arm bit off by a shark. Now, if that was me, I wouldn't even take a bath after that. I wouldn't be anywhere near water. But she's out there still surfing.
Yep,
So,
a lot of trauma, and she overcame it all.
Exactly.
And has 3 babies now, I think.
Exactly. There's a woman that...
Go ahead.
There's a woman that I interviewed last year, and this is a woman who was on her honeymoon and in Germany, her and her husband, and they were in a van. Now, this is something you only see on TV, but this is the truth. And the van broke down on a railroad track, and the train hit her, hit the train, hit the van. She lost both her legs and her arm, and her husband stayed with her. She's now 60 some odd years old, and she has 2 kids, and she went on to become a medical doctor.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
it's all what you put into it. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing. And those are the people that have it. And Faith has it. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Faith has it. She's not letting anything stop her. And this movie is going to inspire so many people. I'm sure of it. I am absolutely.
And like they say that with BYKids, it's available on public television to 83 million Americans.
Wow.
I can even go and speak into. I can share my video in like a school and then speak to them. Yeah.
Yes.
And this month is actually National Disabilities Month, and I went to a virtual trip to John's Crazy Socks the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So the BYKids films. So we will also go into a ton of different elementary and middle schools, and then it has a curriculum to back it up. And sometimes they just get the movie and the curriculum. Other times they actually have them come out and have the speakers come out and the filmmakers to, have a panel for a Q&A. So that's something else that she most likely will attend in the future as well.
Excellent.
So, and then with the film festival, so she, in December, the United Nations Association Film Festival in California, there were 600 submissions, and out of 600 submissions, hers was one of 60 films that was chosen to be shown and featured at the film festival. And then in the end, she actually won the Kids Vision Award on top of that. So that was pretty amazing. And they had a bigger reach, even though, because it wasn't in person due to COVID. So
I'm also involved with Best Buddies.
Yep, you can tell about that too.
I want to start a chapter at my school because there's literally no chapter at my school for the blind, and I need to start a chapter because I find that these kids are lonely, and I try to make friends with them at school, but I found like I can't make friends with everybody, and I'm just so lonely. So
yes, and that's a totally another topic.
I want to have friends. Be with them so they're not lonely and I don't want to say closed off, but yeah.
Well, tell them what Best Buddies is. Some people might not know.
I don't remember the term of it.
So Best Buddies is they pair you with a non-disabled peer is what they do.
Uh-huh.
So they have them in all the different schools. And then they meet once a month and do things. They have a Best Buddies walk. So she was an ambassador for 2 years for the state of Maryland.
Wow.
And they learned to do public speaking. And then she was actually working on her speech. We were getting ready to kind of set up a few schools. And then COVID hit. But with the Maryland School for the Blind, since it's all kids that have disabilities or different abilities, what they can do is they can pair with a public school and try and get the program going that way. So Faith has spoke to them about that. So when things get back to, if you say in person, so to speak, one day that's one of her goals is to start a Best Buddy program there.
Well,
And they also have a great group in California too. They actually started opening up houses. So they would have people with and without disabilities because it's all about inclusion.
Well, if you get that going, be sure to call me, and I'd be willing to help. And I know a couple of other podcasters that would be willing to help with that as well. So,
okay, and we do fundraisers and we become friends, and then we just go out once a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like I said, once you start getting it together, you let me know, and we'll help you get the word out there.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Now you're also up for the Richmond Award, right? In May, I think it is, right?
So that they're actually going to be doing that, and they pushed it to September, so that way they can have it in person.
Oh,
so
excellent.
we're going to be able to go. Yeah, we'll be able to go. We'll view some of the other films that were chosen. I don't know how many submissions they had. We weren't told that one on that. But yeah, and they kind of have it, the fancy style at the end, and have the, call people up for their awards, and so it's going to be fun and interesting.
Cool. Very cool.
And then can I say the thing at your work? They opened hotel where you can get like housekeeper jobs and stuff.
Oh, okay. So I work for the ARC Northern Chesapeake region, and so they actually partnered with Harper Community College and Water's Edge, and they were actually building a hotel, and they're going to be having like a secondary school where they can go to school and they can learn for housekeeping, front desk, in the kitchen, so they would be able to take their serve safe tests and just different skills to learn and be able to work out in the,
in the hospitality field.
Else.
Oh, excellent.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. So she was kind of excited about that.
And then when I get older, I want to live like on my own. So I'm hoping to get like a community dog so I can live in like an apartment or a friend or whatever. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on my independent skills.
Right, and that's the Maryland School for the Blind is amazing. They really work with them. Like, I have no bad words to say about them. They're just all awesome. But it's all about that functional living too, on top of the academic. And why don't you tell them what some of the struggles that you do have with your CP? How does your cerebral palsy affect you?
Can you give me choices? There's a lot.
So it affects your legs. So what do you walk with?
Cane.
Okay, and what else?
Walker.
So she had a pretty big fall last summer, so she's starting to get back up on the canes now. But she uses a walker, and then she uses a wheelchair for long distance.
Yes, I won't either use a wheelchair at Maryland School for the Blind because they're checking our temperatures. So being in like a temperature line for an hour, I don't want to stand the whole time.
Yeah, standing a long time for that too. Well, plus they also have a big campus, so they could be, walking up to 6 miles a day on campus.
Really?
So she has, it's a big campus. It's beautiful too. But then it also affects her fine motor. So, with her buttoning and dressing,
brushing and putting your hair up.
Yeah, and that's another reason why we really got involved with Runway Dreams is because they were really, spreading the awareness about the adaptive clothing. And some people still to this day, don't even know what adaptive clothing is.
Right.
They gave me a magnet dress, and I was so excited to put it on by myself.
Yeah, and I think for as a caretaker, for me, my biggest thing was the jeans. So when Mindy's son had come home from school one day, and he said he wanted to wear a pair of jeans like everybody else. He has a rare form of muscular dystrophy, and she started ripping stuff up at her table, and having focus groups and all of that. And started the nonprofit, and let me tell you, that was a game changer because I actually had a video and I posted it, and I can't even tell you how many views it has, thousands and thousands. But that just showing that, so when they wear their ASO braces on their legs, the jeans, it's so hard to pull them over. You're literally struggling. Like, I would be sweating to death by the time I would try and pull them over, or you would have to wear them on top of it. So they were wider at the leg, and then they also had a slit at the side. So I could just open it up, slap on those ASOs, and then just boom, they had magnets on them to close. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was like night and day.
Cool.
And that thing went viral. And Mindy and them, they had a video that they put together, a professional one, and they ended up splicing our videos and putting it intertwined with theirs. It was pretty cool. But it's been amazing. It looks like everybody else. You have, they're using magnets or Velcro.
Like my sweatshirt has a hole for a G-tube, even though I don't have one. They adapted one on there. Right.
So you could have a sweatshirt that has the pockets in the front, and you would never know if somebody wore a G-tube, but because the hole is in there for G-tube access. So you're looking like everybody else, so you're fitting in wearing the same clothes like everybody else. It's just that it's adaptable for you to make you more independent.
That's excellent.
Especially with her, in the bathroom by herself. She's 17 years old. She doesn't want anybody having to be in there and helping her. So she can get her pants on and off by herself. And
especially with the parents, when you go to school, it's weird. Like if you get a new one, the strangers at first, but then you come to know them for a year and they turn to family. So.
Yeah, they do. They turn into family.
Right. This is true.
Yep.
This is true.
Yeah.
I wasn't really used to socializing with kids because I was always with adults. So that's what I was looking for to learn for the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, I'm just the opposite. I was never used to socializing with adults. I'd socialize with kids. Mentally, I'm 12. But that's great. That's honest. That's absolutely great. That is, and it gives you that independence.
I do have different friends, but it's kind of hard to understand each other on like different mental levels of what we're going through because there's different levels of CP. So when they were talking about relationships, it is kind of complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But they're your best friend and you love them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've also started seeing a social worker because of the pandemic. I've had like anxiety.
Yeah, so she had a huge surgery, probably about 5 years now, and they broke both of her.
Yeah, you said that.
No, I didn't. They did. They broke both of her tibias and fibias and rotated them, and then they did 2 different procedures on her feet, and they had literally was like a tent stake in her foot. It was horrible. So she was in Johns Hopkins for 5 days.
When they took my patch off, you look like you're in trouble.
Yeah, that was horrible.
What
and they
was
just put the Emla cream on it to numb it, and they pulled that thing out. They pulled that thing out. I thought I was gonna pass out.
And what was
So
that?
Then she came home and she was, huh?
What was that for? I mean, what was the?
So when she walks, her legs kind of and her feet kind of roll in.
Oh, okay.
So think of if your leg is straight,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but her knee was bent, like facing it. So from walking and falling inward, her
Right.
knees got twisted.
Oh.
So they had to reconstruct it all. And so then she was at home for 7 weeks, non-weight bearing. And then after that 7 weeks, she had to go into Kennedy Krieger for 6 weeks.
I had to stay by myself, but I love my roommate. I was so nervous at first.
Mm-hmm. Her and her roommate, they kicked us out of the room. Then it was like a sleepover.
They're like, goodbye.
So it was a lot of trauma to her body. And then she had a lot of anxiety from it. And then with the pandemic, it got worse. So she started seeing a social worker, and then she had really bad reflux. So she had one of the pH probe tests, and it came back that she does have reflux, and it's under control with the medicine. But she has what they call non-reflux. It's called arophagia. So she's basically swallowing in too much air all day long. And it's a learned behavior, and it's something that she must have developed for her coping mechanism, from then, and then it just got worse with the pandemic. So, but that's what I told her. I said, it's okay to talk to people, and it's a learned behavior, and hopefully it's something that, that you can work on and overcome and not have that bad acting like reflux.
Right, that's all.
So, yeah.
She would stay at rehab every Saturday and every Wednesday.
Yep.
It could always be worse.
Yep.
But see, again, you're overcoming it. That's it. That's the super faith coming out. You're overcoming it. Other people would just give up. Other people would just lay down, curl up in a ball, and go.
I get you, and I believe in those things because I go to church, so I believe in God. So
There you go.
Therefore, I have faith.
Yep. Therefore, you have faith. Therefore, your name is Faith.
That's why your name is Faith. That's it. That's it. You got to believe in something, and there's always a higher power. Remember that.
Yep.
Because if there wasn't, where would you be?
Yep.
I believe in
That's
God.
true.
I believe in God wholeheartedly.
No.
Because if it wasn't for Him, I'd be a bigger mess than I am.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you are an example. Whoever watches this movie is going to see an example of a person who doesn't give up. That's the feeling I get. Now, I have another question about the movie. Have you made other movies?
No, I have not.
Are you going to make other movies?
I want to so bad.
So, what's stopping you?
Just don't know what I want to make it about, and I don't really have the connections.
Well, you do have the connections because.
Well, I do. It's just I don't know if I have time to like make them because of school.
You just make the time.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a smartphone?
Yep.
Okay.
Smartphone 6. It's really tiny. I told her it's gonna be
All right. Do you have a semi-smartphone?
No.
Do you have access to a computer?
Yeah.
You can make
And I bought a Chromebook, which I'm using for virtual school right now, but my mom just bought me a tripod, and I'm gonna ask for like a camera for Christmas.
You can make a movie and put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody.
So we have a YouTube channel. It's called Gilbo Girls. So it's GUIL as in Larry, B as in boy, AULT. So Gilbo Girls, and I actually have a lot of footage on there because I used to make them in the iMovies and put them up of her
Do you have footage
for a
when I
long
was a
time.
baby?
Sure, I do.
I wish you do.
It's
I've always wanted to like make movie with music in the background of like all the videos we did from all the phones. I have so many pictures. I have my brother that I'm so connected to, and he's in the army right now, so he's away, and I miss him, but he may come home for 2 weeks.
So your YouTube channel is called the Gilbo Girls?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to put that link in with the podcast, the Gilbo Girls.
Cool.
And let's see if let's make you guys famous between Faith's World and the Gilbo Girls. And then Faith is going to start making movies for YouTube.
Yeah. And so back to Runway Dreams, they ended up birthing, if you will, called Gamut Management. And it's a talent agency for people specifically with disabilities. So she actually, they had a webinar last week.
I actually auditioned for parts, but I can't tell you what it's in because I'm not even in yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But so they had a webinar for all their talent with 6 different casting agencies from the Casting Society of America. And then they have 700 people, talent, if you will, that they offer to submit an audition for. And 20 people were chosen to have interviews with casting directors.
And I was one of them.
Yeah.
And
Excellent.
People from New York and California were interviewing me. I was stoned. I was like butterflies in my stomach because it can only talk for 10 minutes. But
yeah,
it was short.
So she got 10 minutes each with 3 different casting directors. So
someone said they could see me doing comedy, so I told her I would think about it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The sky's the limit.
I'm telling you. And
we're just going with the flow.
You're on that spiral upwards. And I'm telling you, your name is going to be up there in lights. And you don't want to be called famous? Too late. It's too late.
I don't want it to be out there all the time.
You're going to be called Famous Faith.
Famous Faith.
Or Famous Faith Guilbault. That's going to be...
I love signing things, so I would probably love book signing.
There you go. Book signing, autographs. Next thing you know, you're going to need headshots. See?
Yeah.
I already have.
I tried to do some headshots. I need to get some professional ones done of you though.
Doesn't Miss Mom do it, Angela?
She doesn't do it anymore. She doesn't do it. But yeah, BYKids have just provided such a platform for her to tell her story in such an amazing way. And I can't say enough about Holly and Kat and Sammy and Hollis.
I'm excited to go to Virginia because this is the first time I've stayed in a hotel since the pandemic.
Yep, since the pandemic.
Which is like 2 years.
Yep.
But
they've all become like family to us.
Oh,
so I think that's the best part is we've met so many people and have had so many amazing experiences that if she didn't have CP or any of this, we would have never been able to go this path, you know?
So see, there's the golden nugget that comes along with everything.
So nice.
Yep. But if you can help just one person, it's all worth it.
Exactly. Well,
I thought you meant like the crispy McDonald's nuggets. I was like, what?
What? What are you talking about?
where did that come from?
Yeah, where'd that come from, left field?
But yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you ladies today. And
Well, we appreciate it.
I want to remind everybody, Faith's World, you can check your local listings. And in New York here, it's on
New York and New Jersey.
And New Jersey,
April 25th.
April 25th.
Yeah, I have so many people I could stay with between New York and New Jersey. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's telling them about your film.
So everybody check your PBS listings and check out Faith's World. I don't want to say ignore the rest, but Faith's World is the most important to me. So check that one.
Yep. And then we have a date for Maryland. So we know the Maryland area is going to be on May 15th.
There you go.
So those are the two we know, the New York, New Jersey, and the Maryland date.
New York, New Jersey, and Maryland. And the rest of you check your listings.
Yep. You got it.
So Karen and Faith, this has been phenomenal. I've had such a good time with you guys. I feel like I've known you all my life. And
I know it. And then, like, I also think becoming independent was going out with my rescue provider and ordering smoothies. So, well, those independent skills.
That's great.
All right.
Well, I want to thank you, and I'd like to talk to you again after the Richmond award thing, the Richmond award.
Yes, would love to do that.
I would definitely love to talk to you again, and I want to introduce you to a couple of friends of mine. That we were talking about, if you don't mind. So,
I'm going to do a little shy at this because I don't come on bubble and never stop talking.
You want to give a shout out, you said? Go right ahead. To anyone you want. No?
Give a shout out to anybody?
Probably just like BYKids and Mindy Shire. They kind of like made me really strong and like giving me more opportunities, and like if I wouldn't have CT, I wouldn't be at this path, and like they made me strong, and like I wouldn't be with the person I was today without them.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. You are a special person, Faith. You are definitely a special person. All right, I will talk to you guys again real soon. Thanks again for stopping by. Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Such nice people. I really enjoyed that. Karen and Faith, they're just two wonderful human beings. Faith is phenomenal to me. She's a shining example of someone who just doesn't let things get in her way. She doesn't let things get her down. Take a peek into Faith's life. Go to the Gilbo Girls on YouTube. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes here on the podcast. Go to Gilbo Girls on YouTube and you'll be amazed. Like they said, for them, it's no big thing because this is everyday life. For other people, it's amazing. It's an amazing glimpse to be able to look in and see what they go through. This movie is going to be something. And if you're not inspired by it, I don't know what to say. But check it out. If you're in New York and New Jersey, April 25th at 7 p.m. on PBS. In New York, it's WNET Channel 13. And May 15th in Maryland. Everyone else, please check your local listings for PBS for Faith's World. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. Let's move on here. I want to thank you all for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. And I want to remind you one more time. Don't forget, April 25th on WNET PBS in New York and New Jersey, Faith's World at 7 p.m. And May 15th on PBS in Maryland, Faith's World. Everyone else, please check your local listings for PBS for Faith's World. Again, thanks a lot for stopping by today, and remember this, no matter what, things can always be worse, my friends. That's right, someone somewhere is wishing that they were in your position, so things can always be worse. You've been listening to An Apple a Day. My name is Jimmy Apple. I'll talk to you again next week. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.